Welcome to Pixel Pizza,
Did she say pizza?
your ultimate source for chiptunes, video game talk, and pepperoni. Delivered to you from Los Angeles and into the digital cyberspace of the 2020s.
Pizza power!
That's right, one super giant pizza.
I want a large, thick crust with double cheese, ham, pepperoni. Hey, where's my pizza? Pizza time.
Welcome back to the Pixel Pizza podcast, listeners. You just heard from our chiptune artists of the week, CMYKitsune and Alison Grace, and that track was called Crashing Waves. So hope you dug that. And now we are on to our game industry interview segment of the show. I am very excited to be speaking with this week's guest. She is the founder of Telefantasy Studios and the director and cinematographer on the upcoming game Blippo Plus, which was an official selection at the Day of the Devs and South by Southwest Sydney, among others. This is Jennifer Jupiter Stratford. How are you doing, Jennifer?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So, when in your life did you know you wanted to work in entertainment? Because I guess games wasn't quite your first thing.
Well, one of my first memory, like actual memories, is my mom turning on the TV and seeing Elvira,
Oh,
movie macabre.
mm-hmm.
And I must have been in like the first grade. So I think I just immediately got demented. Because like all in one, it had this like underground, television aesthetic, or it was on a really small channel. It was on like channel 9. And then she's fabulous in this like cult way. She's like spooky and a bimbo and also really smart.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the like wonky sets, and then her reviewing B movies. I think that has got to have been my like first injection of like my future.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up in Los Angeles, in Hollywood proper. And not the glamorous Hollywood, like
Yeah.
I didn't have, my mom was a nurse. And,
Oh, yeah.
and no one in my family was in the movie industry, but we were all under the like heavy weight of the entertainment industry. When you grow up here, you see like struggling actors and directors that can't get work, and like people being like fucked over all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and like all the broken dreams everywhere. So I was kind of like loved the movies, but I kind of hated Hollywood.
Sure.
But then it kind of, there was sort of nothing else I could do. I just spent all my time watching TV and movies growing up. So I just found myself starting to make my own movies in high school.
Oh.
But actually in junior high, I did this thing where I like convinced the school that video was the new format.
Mm.
And that we didn't need to make like paper yearbooks anymore. We needed to do VHS yearbooks.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself and like revolutionized the yearbook. And the whole year in 8th grade, I walked around with a video camera of the school and filmed interviews with the entire school and covered every event and like edited it together and like produced the video and had skits in it too.
Oh.
But yeah, that was my first, I guess, production.
Wow. Yeah, that's such a better way to, capture the place and time that everyone was at in their lives.
Yeah, I watched it with a friend of mine a couple years ago, and I was like, "Oh, where do you see it?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed."
Oh, yeah. No.
Because we're so junior high school age, like everything we're into, everything we're wearing. But um, once I get a little more distance from it, it's cool to see everyone talking
Hmm.
and their mannerisms that you don't really get in a paper
Right.
book.
Especially since all of that stuff junior high is such a distant memory nowadays.
Yeah, it's mortifying. I'm wearing like I just look so crazy.
What was your style back then, or lack
Oh,
thereof?
oh no, I had style, but it was really confused.
Hmm.
I was like kind of goth, but also mod.
Hmm.
So I had like a black bob that just looked really bad on me. I had like a schoolgirl's uniform and maybe like a reggae necklace.
Huh.
Yeah,
That is eclectic.
it was eclectic. Yeah. Because I like, I liked hip hop too. And
Hmm.
I was really into like 60s records and Northern Soul. But then I loved Susie and the Banshees and like Joy Division. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah,
It was a great era, actually.
definitely. Yeah, so then from there, how did you develop your work and form Telefantasy?
Um, okay, I went to photo school and I minored in film. So I went to a very high-end commercial photography school.
Mm,
This is the 90s, 94, I guess I started college.
okay, I was one.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna age myself a hard
Sorry.
here.
I don't mean to age you.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm like, I just turned 50 this year
Oh,
to put
wow.
it into context. So I'm like, I'm an elder now, and it's okay. I'm a fool. I have some things to share, and I'm also still learning. Um, but yeah, I went to photo school, and it was the 90s, and I loved looking at fashion magazines, and I loved MTV, and I loved liquid television, and like all these. I don't know. In the 90s, there was so much cool commercial art.
Hmm.
Like everything on MTV was just like so unique looking. Every image maker had like a completely unique style. And I wanted to be one of those people that when you looked at their images, you were like, that's Ellen von Unwerth, or like, that's Herb Ritts. I like wanted that clear definition. Um, so I went to the school and I learned all the ins and outs of uh, photography, and it was the analog era. So I was developing film, learning how to light, print, set up photo shoots, and really had a lot of time to like figure out what my aesthetic was. But then when I got out, I was like insanely broke because it was a really fancy school.
Sure.
And I didn't have any, like, not a cent from my mom, or not, I'm not blaming her. She's just a
Of
nurse.
course.
She didn't have the means, but I had the dreams. So I had like a lot of student debt, and and because it was the film era, just to go take a photo, all of a sudden you had to buy film, you had to get it developed, you had to pay to have a room to print in. And so I was just like cut off from my medium because of
Mm.
money. So I got really bummed. And then uh, but some of my friends were sort of in the same boat. They were all had graduated, had enormous debt, still had dreams, but we were working like shitty jobs.
Hmm.
Um, so we banded together and we made this public access show called Dungeon Majesty, which was like a role playing. We took our Dungeons and Dragons campaign and we filmed it at the public access station, and then we reenacted it on chroma key in our character costumes, and we did elaborate um, miniature sets and special effects, and everything started to gel for me because I realized you could take media into your own hands,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't have to wait for anyone to tell you it was okay to put your stuff on TV. You could just put it on public access. So me and my friends got hardcore into it. We made that show for 4 years straight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it also exposed me to video because there was this when public access doesn't exist anymore, and this is before,
Unfortunately.
yeah, this was before YouTube, so it was like the only way you could really like citizens could get their work out there. Um, so the public access station, when it would they bought equipment like in the early 90s, and then they never updated it.
Hmm.
So we were making this show in the early 2000s. So I got turned on in the public access studio to like broadcast cameras and like stuff that works on pedestals and have all the handles and video mixers
Oh, wow.
and all the effects and all the stuff that goes within like a television studio, and everything like just lined up for me because I had grown up on early cable and like these Elvira type images. So
Yeah.
once I saw what it looked like, my images, my characters in front of like these vintage television cameras, I was like, that's the look I've been trying to figure out. And I hadn't quite gotten there in photo school because everything, I mean, I had got the lighting. Like if you looked at my stuff in photo school and what I do now, it's very similar, except, everything always had a hair light and was very 80s and very camp and crazy
Mm.
outfits and crazy hair. Like that's always been consistent.
Yeah.
But like fusing it with broadcast um it just became the thing. It just
Yeah.
felt right. It felt like my dreams. And then because it was video, I didn't have to have money. I didn't have to buy film. I didn't have to have it developed. I had a videotape. It was instantaneous. Um, so me and my four friends that made Dungeon Majesty, we started Telefantasy Studios together because we were like, we love doing this. We love making this show, and we love the idea of being this like off Hollywood movie studio and
Yeah.
fusing our game because we were gamers, but RPG gamers, which I think that very much relates to video games, but we could get into that if you want. But I feel like
Definitely.
we definitely loved sitting at a table and making up a story together.
For sure. And you guys were so ahead of the game because, nowadays we have stuff like Critical Role and Dimension 20 that's blown up. But I feel like before that, at least from my knowledge, getting into Dungeons and Dragons and playing that or other tabletop games and, building the personalities around that hadn't really been done before.
Yeah, we're before Critical Role. We're before Harmon Place. Harmon Place too. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It's Dan Harmon, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, sure. Okay.
Um yeah, we very much may have been the first Dungeon Majesty.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And like so too much the first that people don't quite remember it,
Yeah.
which is like a bit of a heartbreak for all of us. But then I'm like, oh, maybe if we like got all these accolades, we wouldn't have lasted this long or like had the drive or like, I don't know. It's kind of nice to have always be chasing a dream. And if you get it too early,
Yeah, you wouldn't have moved on to the next thing and the next thing.
yeah.
But that's so cool that you developed your own personal style so early on. I feel like it's such a difficult thing for people to pinpoint in their own work.
Yeah. Yeah. I have very exact things that I like. Yeah. Like I remember in one like Blippo thing, we were doing this character Hermes Behave,
Hmm.
who's like a goth. he's a psychopomp and he wrote this like crazy book and he's getting interviewed. And I was like, we're getting this makeup right. And
Mhm.
makeup artist kept like doing his eyeliner like exact and like I'm like, not a purple tie, it's gotta be black, or like, I don't know. We just got like so I mean, I was about that with like a lot of characters, but I like definitely get a little bit obsessive.
Yeah, you want them to feel real, or at least in their own sort of warped reality.
Yeah, I can't help it. Yeah.
So, JJ, what are the top three things you think our audience should know about Blippo TV?
Okay. Um, with Blippo Plus, don't be too concerned about what the gameplay is. Just imagine you got transported to an alien planet and you turned on the TV. And from there, what would you make out of the culture and the things people were talking about?
Mm,
Put the pieces together and have so much fun figuring that out.
for sure.
Okay, the second one is that everyone who made this game made it with so much love for television and for the FMV genre, which hasn't really gotten much respect over the years. So
True.
we really wanted to rehash this like approach at FMVs. Um, and yeah, it's just nothing but love.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, I don't know if you've seen the stuff from Sam Barlow, like her story and Immortality, where it's FMV, but it's much more serious and dramatic. So
Yeah.
but I think it's cool that those two things can coexist. Some of the camp and the uh, over the topness, but in a fun way and a respectful way. With your stuff, with other ways to have live action video and games.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you want to be modern about it, yeah, it's much like the Sam Barlow games, but with camp and
Yeah,
the telefantasy edge to it.
exactly.
That view that puts it in that genre. And then the third thing I'd say is First Contact will be televised.
Ooh, I love it. So, what made you want to go from just video to making a video game?
Well, I mean, I've been making work for like 20 years and like the doors to like quote unquote real television are super closed to me.
Mm,
Um, I made Dungeon Majesty for 4 years, and I made this other sci-fi fantasy show called The Multinauts for 3 years after that. And like Adult Swim and all these cool shows are on TV. Like
yeah.
no one was knocking on my door.
Oh,
Uh-huh. So I just again like was like I'm an underground TV person, period. Like I just kind of gave up on trying to be mainstream, which like is kind of funny because now I'm headed straight to the mainstream. Like I'm working with Sabrina Carpenter
yeah.
and like I'm working with like all the mega divas right now and I'm just like what the hell? I don't understand. I'm like how I went from being like so punk to like being with like very famous people. But
Sure.
it's fun. It's keeping me alive.
Yeah,
So,
what has that been like?
I mean, to be honest, like Sabrina Carpenter kind of saved my life.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like very much in debt. And then my husband worked in the film industry as a set dresser, prop designer. He didn't work for 2 years. And we were just like, at the top of 2024, we had this like talk between us where we were like, we might have to close the studio.
Mm,
Like we're down like 20 grand and like we're both not making money. Like, what are we gonna do? And then I got this job. They asked me to come to this shoot that Sabrina Carpenter was on, and I like Googled her the day before. because I didn't know who she was.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, she just liked me and she saw what I was doing and she was like, this is fresh and this is exciting and like you're so cool. So she just started to bring me along. I did like all of her album promos for Short and Sweet,
Oh, that's cool.
all her visualizers, her commercials, some album cover stuff, like inserts. So she kind of started hiring me, and we are like able to stay in business. And then once Sabrina likes you, then other people start to like you, I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, people with money or whatever. I mean, I
Right,
still am
whatever.
like, yeah, whatever. I'm still doing stuff for people I like that don't have money and stuff. Yeah.
That's good.
But it's just not, it's just nice. I mean, like I said, I've been at it for so long that it had to give at some point. I had to catch a break,
Totally.
and it finally kind of happened.
Yeah. And I feel like, you did something mainstream, but you didn't have to go mainstream. You were still able to bring yourself to it.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. We did this thing with Sabrina recently where I was working with her on something else, and she was like, in between takes, she's like, I want to do some stuff in black and white.
Hmm.
And so I was like, oh, I have the very first video camera, like 1969,
Whoa.
quarter pack. And I was like, I have multiple like cameras. And so she invited me to go to film this interviewer, Zane Lowe,
Hmm.
who's like obviously like a very mainstream famous podcaster. And they just built this new studio at Apple, brand new, the highest tech studio I've ever been in.
Wow.
And then me and my like female camera crew show up with these cameras from 1969 and we're setting them up, and like everyone at Apple was like, you guys are gonna shoot it with that. And Sabrina was like, if they say they want to shoot digital alongside your cameras, say no.
Wow.
I was like, Sabrina, you are legit cool.
Yeah.
And everyone was like looking at the monitor, like all the people from Apple who are lovely people, like, because they
Mhm.
are tech nerds at this studio. So they were like, wow, this is such ancient tech. Like, we brought in some like relic from like Indiana Jones. And like they were just in awe of us. And they were like, oh, this camera is like kind of messed up and they're kind of jumpy and they like have lines in them. And I was like, yeah, those are flaws we can't control. So it was like kind of a nice experience of like me definitely not having to change.
Hmm.
And then also after so many years having the confidence to be like, this is what it is. And like, let's collaborate and let's work together and let's like look at resolution in a whole new way.
Would you say that confidence wasn't always there, or?
Oh God, yeah, not at all. It took many years.
Mm.
Yeah. Because when I started doing this stuff, like shooting on video cameras, people were like, you're never going to work commercially. And
Hmm.
like, I mean, I still have things where I'm like, I did this thing for MTV recently.
Uh-huh.
I opened up the VMAs this year,
Yeah, I saw that. That was amazing. Congratulations.
which is so insane. The teen in me is just like,
Yeah.
what? you know? Um, but I had a meeting with like the people at MTV, and they were like, we don't think your images are going to be good enough for broadcast. And so I was like, it'll be good enough because I've been doing I do all of Sabrina's concerts too. So like
Oh,
I've
really?
seen my images on jumbotrons and it looks great. It like doesn't look degraded. It looks beautiful.
Mm.
It's just we've become so hyper into resolution that like
Yeah.
you can just get so techy and so modern that you like think everything from the past is like not good or not high quality. So I kind of had to sit at this call and just let people insult me
Uh, that's the worst.
and have the confidence to be quiet, which is new. I feel like this it's gonna be they're gonna get my images. They're gonna love them. And it's totally gonna be good for broadcast. And the weird thing is that when I saw it on TV, they put fake glitches on top of it.
Huh?
So they like messed it up more. I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, we thought you wanted it to be more clear.
But yeah, I had to build that over time. I've had a lot of people like try to like convince me not to do it anymore. And like, yeah.
Yeah, that's something
Talk
to
about image
struggle with.
quality and like, you know, mind you too, I'm also a woman.
Right.
Female
It's hard to
director
learn now.
is like it's still really challenging to be trusted.
Mm.
And I think one of the reasons I'm working commercially right now is because divas and dolls are going off in the mainstream,
True.
and there's more gay people in media than ever, in positions of power, and women, and like badass people that are ready to like stand up for what they believe in.
Oh, yeah.
So
No.
I'm like, this is such a weird era because it's like a lot. It's just like there's so much going on. There's so much chaos. There's
Yeah.
so much depression.
Mhm.
It's just rampant. And I just see these glimmers of hope that I didn't think I would see. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just like, obviously, it was a dream of mine to like get my shit on TV, open up the VMAs with like a
Yeah.
Max Headroom. It was a Max Headroom like um bit and like an
Uh-huh.
honor. We had to get the blessing of
Oh,
Rob
really?
Morton and Annabelle Jankel, the original creators of Max Headroom, to do it. So it's just like all these layers of things that really mean a lot to me
Wow.
happen. Yeah.
I mean, bringing it back to video games, they also did the
Yeah,
Mario
sorry.
movie. No, no worries.
Yeah. Yeah. They did the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
So do I. And like the production design in that,
It's incredible.
some of my favorite
Yeah.
production design of all time.
No, the whole underground city, it's so cool. The fungus,
Oh my God. Dennis Hopper is Koopa Troopa. Who thought
right?
that? And it was bombed. It kind of ruined
I
it
know.
ruined their career. It definitely ruined
Yeah.
Annabelle Jankel's like feature film career, which I'm just like, I idolized that film so much.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
It's disappointing it wasn't, you know.
Yeah. It's just because we all loved Super Mario Brothers at the time, the video game,
Yeah,
and like it would just didn't line up. We're like, what? Mario's not wearing red overalls.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, I
like,
did grow up playing video games.
oh
I
yeah?
was a cable kid, but I played Nintendo.
What were some of your favorite games?
Oh God, I played all the Super Mario Brothers. I loved Castlevania
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah. um, I have a funny thing where I had my parents are divorced, and I would go see my dad like every year for the summer, and I would go there, and I didn't have Legend of Zelda at my mom's house, so only every summer I had Zelda, but it had the battery in it, so you could save your game.
Yeah.
So I played Legend of Zelda over like 5 years because I would pick it up when I got to my dad's.
That
Yeah.
must have been hard because I'd imagine, remembering exactly where you are in that game, not getting lost.
I had notebooks.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, so this like chance to do a video game was really unique. It's weird because I had met Claire Evans at there was this collective or something in LA called LA Game Space. and they had like they did they did this talk, and they asked three artists to present at that talk, and me and Claire were each one of those artists, and they were like, come to this thing and present like a make up a video game and do a presentation like you are presenting a video game.
Oh.
And that, so it's so weird that that's how we met, and then we wind up collaborating on a video game like several years later. Yeah. And both of our games were obviously weird. So my game was like, it had no joystick controller. You did it all with this pineal stimulator thing. This like, I made this like these like glasses that you put on, and it like, and had a triangle and like a fake light. So like you were
Oh,
playing it with your third eye.
that's cool.
And there was no winning and no goals in my game. And then hers was like a slider game where you had little sliders. So you could alter reality, I believe, by like
Ooh.
pulling up these sliders up and down. So I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know, just thinking back, like, oh my God, it kind of makes sense that because both of those concepts are kind of in Blippo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they came to me, Claire and Donna came to me with this idea, the initial concept.
Mhm.
And I was down to do video games because I also love FMV games.
Oh, yeah.
I came to them very late because I never had a home computer growing up. But I like I got way into retro gaming like in my 30s. So I loved like Phantasmagoria, and I'm also obsessed with this artist named Lynn Hirschman Leeson.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, she's a contemporary artist, but she did these interactive laser discs.
Oh.
And she had this game called Lorna that was like a laser disc game, and you could like make choices.
Oh, cool.
And it has the aesthetic I love too, and it's very like female and like gay centric. So I was like really into it. So when they came to me with like the concept of a video game, I was like, yeah, it's not, again, it's just like another off Hollywood type endeavor that I would get myself into. And I could finally apply all my knowledge of watching TV into something.
Hmm. Was there anything different you kind of had to change up for your approach, making all the different segments?
Um, okay, one of the things I really had to let go of is that we couldn't have it because all the shows are 1 minute long.
Oh.
And also tying it back to Max Headroom. So Max Headroom had this very famous episode called Blipverts. And it was like you would watch in the episode, people would watch these commercials that were super short and you would get all the information and like desire the fast food after watching it, but like it being a blip. So when they came to me and they had the name, I was like, oh, Blipverts, I'm in. Being like anything Max Headroom adjacent,
Yeah.
I'm there. Um, so everything was 1 minute. So we couldn't do any theme songs.
Oh.
Which I'm like, I mean, we did do theme songs, but they're like so short, you might not, no opening credits.
More like a
Just,
jingle.
yeah, or a jing. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, everything had to be really, really concise. And but it was fun to just like reinvent rules of television
Yeah.
to fit this structure.
And I know part of the structure is that there is like a connective tissue, a story between all of it. So how did you make that fit together?
Well, we like came we everyone came to my studio, and we had like a whiteboard, and they had all the names of the shows, or like we would, in the development process there was names of shows and there was networks, and then we would sit at the table and all kind of come up with like what the shows were as like the first layer, and then it was all on like a grid, like a primetime schedule.
Yeah. TV
And
guide.
Yeah. Kind of like how network programming chiefs are like arranging what's the best way to reach the audience. Um, and then Claire's the script is the script writer. So it was like her task to be like, okay, week one, I'm saying like Mike Zero landed here. Then maybe it comes up the next week because, and then we would just like pepper the meta narrative into all the shows.
Mm.
And then there are some shows where like no narrative whatsoever is going in it just because it's fun and like if something crazy happens in the culture, it doesn't always land on TV, right? Like
Yeah,
Star Trek is still playing and isn't going to reflect the culture or like things like that.
sure. Yeah, and I mean, even in more linear stories, you need those moments of just something entirely different to
Yeah.
cool you down.
And like red herrings kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely were like, people will get it or not get it, but we don't care.
Hmm. Yeah, as long as you're happy with it and you enjoy
Yeah.
making it.
Me personally, I was just all about tone and like the way things feel and bringing authenticity out of the characters and the actors and the people. Like I just wanted it to feel loving
Hmm.
more than like I'm trying not to intellectualize anything. I'm definitely a feelings person.
Yeah. And I mean, I think when people sometimes see the public access aesthetic or callback, it can be more of like a satirical thing as
Yeah,
opposed to coming from that place of love.
yeah, yeah. Because I feel like a lot of times when we parody things, it can just feel mean spirited.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I just want to. I just I don't know. I'm very into authenticity and
Same.
I just have this pure love for TV and media of a certain era. Like I'm definitely like I'm really into I would say that like I've I've been reading a little bit of what people think of Blippo. Um and I'm like it's not necessarily public access aesthetics because it's more like BBC and like
Oh, yeah.
regional television. Because when I think of public access being from public access, I'm like, public access is ragtag and you're not having any sets. Or, unless you're like us, where we like spend all our day job money making them. But like public access is more like, have you played the Blippo game yet?
No, I didn't think it was out. I thought it wasn't out until like the 21st.
It's out on the PlayDate now, but it's coming out in color
Oh,
on Nintendo
okay.
Switch.
Yeah, I was waiting for that version because I don't own a Playdate yet.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but there are some, not to give too much away, but there are some kids that like hijack the Blippo verse.
Oh, that's fun.
And I would say their stuff, what they do is public access.
Uh-huh.
But then like State of the State, like is the news show and all the other shows is more regional television. So, and I say that meaning like not corporate television, not like I don't know, like in the mid 90s, like Clear Channel and like Direct TV kind of bastardized cable television, in my opinion,
Mm,
because I recall the early days of cable being like very much like there are artists behind this.
yeah.
It's not Ted Turner and it's not like
Eh.
yeah, it got a little bit. I mean, there's great things that happened in the 90s on
Oh, for
television.
sure.
Like I'm just like, where's our I mean, where's our soap operas and our mystery science theater and all these
Yeah,
where's our Nickelodeons that
exactly. I was so heartbroken when in our area Cartoon Network Studios shut down recently.
yeah, I know it's kind of major, right? It's such a mark
Yeah,
of Burbank. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I heard Adult Swim is no more also.
No.
Yeah.
That has been my dream is to do something with Adult Swim, but It's like
Yeah.
harder and
We're
harder.
going, I know, I'm like, oh yay, Sabrina, and like all these people are mainstream people are doing cool things. And then I'm like, yeah, but then it's just like there are all these other things that are no more.
Yeah.
So hopefully something new pops up,
Yeah.
but still it's mainstream TV.
Right.
So yeah, so video games are a fun way to like bring that spirit into like a new realm. Not that like making TV show oriented stuff is like a new concept to video games or anything, but
Sure. Yeah, there was
so
that
that
FMV stuff.
yeah.
And one of the other things that I think is so interesting about the format is it's like a rotating selection of shows in real time, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was kind of what was special about the Playdate release is that the video game was actually streaming. So people really did have to have that cable TV thing where you have to wait for the new episodes to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then on the Nintendo Switch one, you could play it all, you can rewind and you can fast forward and you can like, there's a little more interactivity. Um, but I think that might help people understand the story and the world a little bit more because people are so obsessive and love to. I know for me, if I like something, I'm doing it over and over and over again. Everything I love, I've
Yeah.
watched a million times.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm excited about that. And also, like, the color one is my baby
Mm.
because it has my aesthetic and my camera work and my main, I collaborate with the costumer and the makeup artist a lot.
Oh,
It's like we put so much detail into it. And originally it wasn't going to be in color, but like, I don't know. We were just going off in the studio and, not thinking about it being on a tiny screen in my mind. I'm like, I'm making television. And I was like, I don't know. I just went hard on the aesthetics. And then it kind of just became apparent to everyone that a color version should come out. And that's really a cool thing of Panic to like back it up
yeah.
and
To have
want
these
to
two
put out.
totally different versions of the game.
That's outside of the play date. I think that's really cool of them. They did not have to do that.
Mm.
They didn't have to do Blippo anyway, but the fact that they decided to like publish it as a color game for Switch is really like really meaningful to me, and I like love them forever for that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine. I mean, just going by the trailer and some of the other footage of seeing it in color, seeing how it would be on that 1-bit black and white screen.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's also like a really high frame rate
Oh,
on the
true.
Playdate. Maybe it's 60 frames or something. Yeah. It like looks crazy. Um, yeah. But again, it's more like whatever. I keep talking about this resolution revolution.
Hmm.
So I'm like anything that just like can convince our eyes and our minds that everything doesn't have to be so sharp.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
And I think it's getting harder to tell the difference with all these resolution increases. Like, people are still making games for the PlayStation 4 because the PlayStation 5 isn't that huge of a jump. It's even though it's selling itself on its power increase and a lot of the other systems this generation are, it's hard to see with how advanced things have gotten, how it's more incremental than revolutionary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, would you say there's like a particular format you like creating the best for?
Mm, what do you mean? Like
Uh,
TV?
like
You mean? Or
TV
like,
or music videos or
oh,
commercials?
no, yeah, my first love is always television. Well, I'm Telefantasy
Oh, of
Studios.
course, yeah,
So
yes.
Telefantasy is my favorite. Is my
True.
favorite. So a Telefantasy is usually a sci-fi fan. It's a real term. It's a genre, right?
Huh.
So like Doctor Who, Red Dwarf,
Yeah,
Seven, UFO, Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
sure.
Lex. Oh God, I love Lex. All those are telefantasies. So like my dream really would to just make like a true telefantasy
Hmm.
and not be suffering to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To have like to actually get some backing and funding because I know I'm working a lot commercially right now. And it feels really good to have like enough help and have the best people. Like now, my team is like so pro. We're doing like a lot of cool stuff now. But when I did Blippo, there's only 5 people total of the whole behind the scenes crew.
Really?
Yeah. So my husband, Ronnie, designed all the sets and
Uh-huh.
built everything and like all the materials that all those sets were made out of come from our collection of material scraps, junk that we've like pilfered off of commercial jobs and have tried to make stuff with. And then when it came to like lighting a scene, I had a gaffer for maybe 2 or 3 of the shows. So I was lighting all of the set, all of it, operating the camera and
Oh,
directing and being like the ringleader AD, which is not fun at all
oh
because you
no.
gotta be like chop chop, we're getting
Yeah.
now quiet on the set, and it's like not that's like the hardest job of all. So it's like it's a really fun project, but it's really difficult and a lot of work, and like I feel like I'm still not recovered yet and still really exhausted.
I
um,
was gonna say, every day must have been so exhausting doing that.
I didn't know how tiring it was until we shot for 9 months straight.
Wow.
It's a really big undertaking and I'm really proud of it. But then we edited it for a year because it's whatever, 35 shows, 35 like narrative shows, and they each have 10 episodes each. So like for instance, I edited Quizzards and did all the effects on it. And I was working like 12 hours a day for 8 days straight.
No way.
Yeah. you know, I do that. I've been doing that since day one
Sure.
also. I can't really fault anyone. I like love doing it, but once I finally rested, I was like, there's a lot to learn about expectations
Yeah.
and ambition and um, I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's really easy to get swept up in all of that.
Yeah. And I'm sure I'm gonna do something similar when I finally make a TV show, like a my next narrative event adventure is probably going to be like hard like that too.
Ooh. Is there anything you can share? Any ideas brewing, or is that to be
I'm working,
determined?
yeah. Well, I'm developing a couple things right now.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm working with some because a lot of the actors in Blippo are like my friends, or like performance artists that I've admired or like pulled together. And so like it really proved to me what a lot of these people are capable of. Um, so I'm like trying to develop a soap opera right now.
oh, cool.
And then I have a movie that I've been writing for a really long time, but I have gotten a real screenwriter involved. So we're collaborating on that. And then my best friend Liza, who I started Telefantasy with, and she edited a bunch of the episodes also
Mhm.
for Blippo. Her and I are developing stuff together too. So I'm just like got my hands on a lot of pots and I'm like trying to move things forward. But I like believe in the studio more than now than ever. And I like believe in my like heart and my like instincts more than ever. And that is because of all these experiences I had with Blippo. I
That's
feel really
amazing.
I like really went down into like a dark dungeon, and but now I've come out with like Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah, triumphant.
Yeah, yeah. This is just not for the weak, you know.
Oh, absolutely. No, I have so much respect for anybody in games or TV or entertainment who's, you know, putting forth a creative vision and putting their heart and soul into recreating it the way they see in their mind.
Yeah. And for me, it didn't feel much different between like TV, music videos, and commercial and narrative, and video games. It all felt like the same world.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the production and post-production side. Um, but I was not involved in the programming side of Blippo, so I never got to interface with the developers,
Oh.
Mark LaCroix and Dustin. I didn't get to ever like even meet them. But I'm just like, who are these geniuses? And like, what have they done? And like, what? I'm just really respect that aspect of it,
Oh,
and really
totally.
want to know more about that and how people like create this different medium.
Yeah.
These in-betweeners,
Yeah, I'd love to hear their perspectives too, because this must have been such a different project, programming wise, from anything they'd done before. Yeah, so thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me today, JJ.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Likewise. So I have to ask, this is the Pixel Pizza podcast. JJ, where is your favorite pizza place?
I guess I'm gonna say Casa Bianca and Eagle Rock.
Oh,
Yeah. You have to pay cash.
sure.
They have pictures of celebrities from the past on the wall.
Mm.
And you might wait outside for a long time to get a table. Have you ever been there?
I have not, no.
Where's your favorite pizza then?
Um, I mean, here in California, I really like Reno's. Um, as far as, I mean, I'm trying to think. I like triple beam pizza, if you've been there, and I like Echo
Oh
Park.
yeah, rectangle pizza.
Yeah, that one's really good too.
Cool. So you're not a stickler of the pizza's round or square.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, what's on the inside that counts.
Right.
I do have a preference for New York style pizza because that's where I'm from originally, but
Oh,
I'm open to trying any different kind. So I'm really glad we got the chance to talk.
yeah. And thanks for including me.
Of
Yeah.
course. So where can people keep track of you and your work?
Um, telefantasystudios.com. And I'm not so good at the Telefantasy Instagram, but it exists.
Mhm.
And I'm JJ Stratford on Instagram. And that I keep updating on the regular just because I get a lot of work from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think like image people like Instagram.
Oh, true.
And Dungeon Majesty has a website too, if you want to see my old public access shows.
Mm-hmm. Great. Then I'll have a link to all of those in the description. And now we are going to hear one more track from our chiptune artists this week, CMYKitsune and Alison Grace, and that is called Title Screen. So enjoy that one, and we will see you next week with another new Pixel Pizza.